Welcome to another, hopefully exciting episode of the Vinyl Community. Guncles, episode number 5. I'm Robert Fithen, along with Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora. Mike from Hubtunes is here, as well as Richard from Calvin Wazoo. Richard, of course, who last episode brought up the song Dead Skunk from Loud Wainwright III.
I apologize for that, because it stinks to high heaven.
Yes, he's already apologized several times for that. Yeah, we said we were going to talk about novelty songs that we just really don't think are funny at all, really don't like. Really
actually, it was difficult to think of some, because when I was a kid, my brother had a bunch of 45s that had, you know, novelty songs like Snoopy and the Red Baron.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, I liked them. And
those
so
I don't
have like
well, there is the whole Google thing that, you know, list of novelty songs, and like it shows like 200. Was the Red Baron the worst? Did anybody else think that was just the worst part of the Peanuts cartoons? I mean, that was, to me, was always like,
it didn't make a lot of sense.
It seemed
was jumping the
forced.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah. But I like that song.
Right? Yeah. The
Purple
Royal
People
Guardsmen.
Eaters. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I liked all that stuff.
Yeah, they had a Christmas song with it, and another one, and they had a song that didn't have anything to do with Snoopy that is about going up in an airplane. You know, come up and ride in my airplane or something. Anyway, yeah. So
Not My Beautiful Balloon.
Well, there was that big hit by the Japanese singer, again, back when I was a kid, Q Sakamoto, I think. In the U.S., it was Sukiyaki.
Yes.
But it was a different title in Japan, and the song in the U.S. everybody thought, "Oh, this is like a happy." No, but it's a song about breaking up with someone. So he's singing about holding his head up to the sun so the tears don't run down his face.
Well, it's like those foreign songs are like nobody knows what they're about, and everybody like Gangnam Style. What isn't that about being like rising up against the rich or something, or something like that, or
mocking the rich.
Yeah. So yeah, completely lost. Disco Duck's a big one that people hate, but at least you can dance to that one.
I love Disco Duck.
Yeah.
I feel like every one you guys are gonna mention, I'm gonna be like, I love that. Disco Duck, I remember like roller skating to that, and you had to put like your one leg up, and like, do the Disco Duck.
Well, being in radio, Robert probably remembers every single one of them.
I've never really been in a format that would play those. I was in like a, rock and then country. Yeah, so yeah, I never did like the oldies thing, or no. I don't think I've ever played.
You didn't
Disco
play
Duck.
Convoy on your country station?
No, it was hot country. Honky tonk, but donka donk.
Convoy's not hot.
I don't know. Convoy was a pretty.
It is a
song.
pretty.
That's from 1975. I have it somewhere under the M's, probably for CW.
And my friends at that time all had CB radios in their cars, you know, because we lived in the woods. We lived out in the lake country.
That guy wasn't even for real. That wasn't his real name or anything. He was like I think he was a radio DJ and
what was his name? McCall?
CW McCall.
CW McCall, right.
And that's not his real name. Obviously, you know, not even a real. It's not his real voice. He doesn't really talk like that or anything. And made a whole like series of like albums with this trucker persona.
Made a shitload of money.
Yeah. Especially after
it was a big deal at that time.
Made it into a movie.
CB radio.
Yep.
Come on back and talk to Teddy Bear.
No, I don't do that.
Niner.
And them truckers was lined up. Whatever it is.
I think
Nobody? No? Okay. Going back too far. Back too far and too far into the hills.
I think my absolute least favorite novelty song, and it's I don't know. I think Weird Al kind of ruined a lot of novelty songs. He just made it very neat. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was the Jump in the Saddle Band, the Curly Shuffle. Does anyone remember that, or was that just a Chicago thing?
I remember the title, but I cannot.
Curly Shuffle.
I cannot call the tune in my head right now.
Was all
Maybe it's because I hate it so much that I blotted it out.
There we go.
I remember that.
I think they might have been
guys
from
in
the
a bed with a
Chicago
horse.
area.
Was this something to do with the Chicago Bears?
No, it had to do with the Three Stooges.
Okay.
It was an entire song about the Three Stooges.
We never miss a chance. We get up and dance and do the curly shuffle. Slightly.
I remember that.
No, maybe I don't remember this. Maybe
Oh, that's right. They had the call and response. Yuck, 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 yuck. Well, yeah. Okay.
They might have been down from your way. I think they were from Illinois. I'm pretty sure they were. And maybe that's why they were so. They probably still play in bars in Chicago. Probably in Palatine, Illinois.
Their fan club is Highwood, Illinois. Wherever that is. Highwood?
I lived in Highwood for many, many years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I worked in Highwood, too.
Are you on
15
here?
years. I'm not on the album.
Oh, you should be. Why not?
You got to have this just for the cover, though. I mean, come on.
Right? I love that.
Oh, there's a horse in the bed.
Right.
Well, that's the place you put your horse, though. So
yeah, if you're gonna have a horse, it's definitely
you got to have it in the bed.
I heard there was more than one horse in that bed. You know.
Oh, good Jesus!
Hey!
We'll be right back.
Yeah, that would be my. And that got a lot of radio play in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, that was on the radio all the time. Ooh. Awful.
No, there was. What was Richard? Richard was talking about the. Not that the Chicago Bears thing was the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Super Bowl Shuffle. I actually have a copy of that.
We ain't here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl
was
Shuffle.
probably not intended to be a novelty song, but something serious.
It is.
Way.
Oh, come on now! You think they were serious with that?
They were serious about.
They brought in
trying to
Quincy
win.
Jones to make sure that. Yeah, right. Yeah, good times with the novelties. Which one is Craig's worst? Because you said you love them all, so which one would you not like?
It's not. Is it even a freaking novelty song? The one that's in my head. I'm just thinking of a song that I freaking cannot stand. That maybe it's that damn "Who Let the Dogs Out." But is that a novelty song?
Oh yeah, I think so. It's a party
It's
song.
Terrible.
At this point, it's a novelty song.
It's
I don't think it was
terrible.
originally intended for one.
And
Originally a very serious song.
Yeah, I mean, but now I'm.
They really did want to know who let the dogs out. It was a real question.
Hey, it's a good question.
I mean, I guess I can understand why you would want to know, but when it really comes down to it, who fucking cares?
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of dogs running around. I guess unless they're like pit bulls and they're like
Are dogs
attacking people.
I mean, is dog a euphemism for something else?
Is it DAWGS or is it DOGS?
I would assume.
Because if it's dogs, then you're like, oh, my homies, letting my dogs out. Like, what up?
The spelling on the thing is just like a dog, though. I thought it was about
like you're letting actual dogs out.
Unattractive people, like, a group of unattractive people come into the bar. It's like, who let the dogs out? I thought, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that's what I thought the dogs. You throw that on, and it's like the whole bar is like pointing.
That might.
I remember the song, but I never listened to the words, so I don't even know what dogs are talking about.
We're gonna get.
There's a lot of. No,
I'm not saying that's my opinion. I'm saying I thought that's what the 90s were so crass. There was that Short Dick Man song. I mean, obviously, people were like,
song. Gillette.
This is what you do when you're in the bar. You look for the guys that get pissed off when that song comes on. That's not the guy you want.
It's the same one that did Mr. Personality.
The one sitting there going,
ugly.
Looking at the speaker or looking at the DJ.
I'm with the DJ.
Hey, Mr. DJ.
But yeah, the 90s were crass. They had that song and Who Let the Dogs Out. That's why I thought Who Let the Dogs Out were about that. I thought it was another one of those kind of like body shaming songs.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Weird Al Yankovic had Fat. You couldn't do, that whole song about being fat.
You
couldn't
know
do
it.
that now.
It just struck me as they were trying to be serious and funny or something like that. Not like a novelty song. I mean, I was born on a day of a novelty song was a #1 hit. The big, the Purple Eater, Big Bad Purple Eater.
Oh.
Yes.
It was #1 hit when I was born.
#1 hit when I was born, My Ding-a-Ling from Chuck Berry.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Won't you play My Ding-a-Ling?
Not only is it, My Ding-a-Ling.
High school when you were
But it
born.
makes me sound like I'm older than because it's Chuck Berry. You're like, when were you born, in the 50s? No, Chuck Berry had one hit, like, way far away in 1972. I was not born in 1955.
I was
or
in
something.
junior high school. but I remember the song.
Yeah. And there's actually a longer version. I mean, most people have heard the single one. There's
is there a longer
it's
version?
actually an 8-minute long live song. Yeah.
For real?
I can cut a big part of it out.
Yeah, I can always use a longer version of my ding-a-ling.
Well, I can. Well.
And if it's a better one, then that proves that size matters.
Well, exactly. Longer ding-a-ling, yeah. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. If one's 8 and one's 3.5, I want the 8.
Well, yeah. That's yes, but
the one that's 3.5 has a bigger hole. I noticed.
So what else is going on, guys?
Don't joke.
I think it's time for the album review.
Good segue.
What about those sports balls teams? All right, what are we talking about?
The album review. Your album. Now, did you want to go first or last? Because we've been.
I like
that new format that Richard did, where the person that picks the album goes last.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So who's going first?
Don't.
Okay, I'll go first.
Thank you.
When I had to listen to this like 4 times, because when the first song.
Wait, we should tell everyone what it is.
Yeah.
That's right.
It is Beautiful South's Quench.
Right.
Yeah. And what year did this come out again?
1998.
98. I was thinking 96. But okay. So yeah, when I first started listening to it, I recognized the opener, How Long Does It Take a Tear to Dry, right away, because I have this. I have a 3 CD compilation of Beautiful South, and so I recognized that song. And then the next song, Lure of the Sea, I recognized that one, was being on that. So I started going through the CD list, because what happened when I started listening, I was not used to the order I was hearing them in. And so it kind of threw me off. And then the songs that I'd never heard before, there's just 3 on this particular release that I had never heard before. So it kind of, my first time I listened to it, I was kind of like, it hit me the wrong way. But listening to it over and over, now I've got, all the songs are really quite good, including the one that I was not familiar with, like The Slide was one I was not familiar with. Look What I Found in My Beer kind of started off a little, but then as I started listening to it, it got a lot better in the story that was being told. I May Be Ugly was another one that I had not heard before, and that was good. It was another one that started off a little, didn't quite grab me, but as the song started going, there's a couple parts in it, I think, where there's a key change or something that throws me off or whatever. But overall, I was like, okay, this is, really familiar with this. You mentioned the expense of the record. I just took a look in Discogs to see, and I'm like, I'm going to be really happy with this CD that I have. Apparently, they only pressed.
They didn't make many
British copies. There were no American press.
There was no U.S. pressing.
Yeah, so it's an expensive record.
And I know it's going for a couple hundred.
The average price I saw was like $300.
Yeah, so I got lucky with mine. I only paid around $90 for it, but this was also about 10 years ago.
So this was, really strong, in my opinion, really good. Loved the songs, especially as I got used to the order. So, I'm going to give this 4 rainbows.
Yay.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'm going to be real quick because I actually Richard did a really good job there. I've never heard of this band. I missed them. It's their debut, is it?
No. This is like their 5th album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I really enjoyed it. I've never heard of them. I didn't know anything about them. I put it on. I was driving out to Iowa one day, and I just hopped on the road and drove it, and it's really good. And it reminds me of the Smiths. It's got that Smiths kind of vibe to it, and that's why I was surprised it was 98. I thought actually it was earlier 90s, and I really, really enjoyed this record. I actually ended up on the way back from Iowa. I ended up playing a bunch of their other records too.
Oh, good.
You know, yeah, no, very cool band. Not, I'm assuming not around anymore.
They are
They're
not.
playing in Chicago this month.
Oh, really?
They have a concert. Yeah, they're playing the Chicago
really?
Theater.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
excuse me, my mistake. I'm thinking of a different band. Sorry.
Okay, because I'm like because first off, I would be in Chicago if they were playing.
Yeah.
No, they are all.
I apologize.
Yeah, they're
Brain
all.
misfired.
They are very cool, and I'm going to actually search out. I've already searched out a bunch of their records, and I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know how I missed them.
But you know the House Martins, right?
Oh yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so Paul Heaton, one of the lead singers, is from the House Martins.
I thought it was the same guy. Yeah.
His voice is you can't mistake that voice.
Yeah, I have a couple House Martins, and I love them too. But terrific choice. I really like it. I'm going to give it four rainbows. I really enjoyed it.
All right, so so I listened to it twice, but I listened to it once and then kind of read about it on Wikipedia, got a little background, and then listened to it again. And it's kind of surprising. I got a wrong impression. I was kind of surprised by what I find out. The first song, "How Long's a Tear Take to Dry," I was in love with that. I love the keyboards. I love the lyrics. I love the female vocalist Jackie Abbott. And then I was later found out that they have this rotating thing of female singers. They have like one for like 3 albums, and then they'll be replaced by, or they quit or whatever. They're replaced by another one. So I thought that she was integral to this, and apparently she's only around for a few albums. Second one, more great keyboards. It's got the Bob Rock kind of production when that kind of caught up with the alternative stuff later on, so it's got that kind of sound lightened up. The female, I have notes this time. The female vocalist sounds more like a sweeter, more approachable version of Chrissie Hynde to me. So the first 2 songs were great.
Timbre. She's got that timbre in her.
Yeah, she's like, not as interesting, but more like approachable, more, but like the first 2 songs were the first 2 songs that, and ever since we've been doing any of these albums, where I've actually, click them like to play them again later on. I'll listen to them again, in my leisure. Okay, so then we take a turn here.
Uh-oh.
Because the female disappears, and this awful guy who's just kind of been annoying in the background, he starts taking over. It's got an awful song called Big Coin, which sounds like Bitcoin, which is not their fault. Bitcoin was not around, but
it was later.
It's awful. It's terrible. That's followed
totally their fault.
By
now, don't you think that song is about salvation?
I think that song's ridiculous. Simply Beautiful. I'm simply dumb. I didn't like that at all. The 50s kind of throwback thing.
I actually liked that song.
They just kept saying that same thing over and over.
Dumb is like one of my favorite songs of theirs. Of like,
I don't like that at all. It sounded like such watered down doo-wop. I just want to hear the Perfect 10. Come on. And this is a single. This sounded like, the keyboards are back and the woman's back, so that's good. But it sounds like a bad country pun song. He's talking about wanting a big woman, and it doesn't matter that you're big. She's talking about a guy's cock, right?
Yes. Because if he's extra large, then she's in charge. I mean,
and she wants a 4, right? She doesn't want extra large.
She wants
now we're body shaming guys with large penises, and it's got to stop.
It really
no. She wants the big fat 8. But if you're poor 4, didn't get out the door.
Oh, so it's back to the same old thing.
Yeah,
then it's back to the same old thing.
Queen, which really, Paul writes all the songs, so Paul's the size.
Well, finally a song I can relate to. I still don't like it. It came off as like, I didn't. It's silly like pun country. Anyway, so yeah, the guy's voice on this next song sounds. He really kind of starts revealing himself. I kind of start figuring out what I don't like about it. He sounds like a drunk guy in a pub who thinks things that he's saying are brilliant. That's my impression of the vocalist. Anyway, Look what I found in my beer's a little bit better. It would have made a good track 3. I kind of like that one. When shopping for blind. I'm starting to figure out that these two, when they're together and they do quirkier songs, they sound like this band from the Netherlands from the mid-late 70s called BZN, where it's like a male and female duo, and they do like kind of more quirky kind of songs. They were always on top of the pops, apparently, but they're called BZN. It reminds me of them. Anyway, Pockets is really cool. Pockets is a cool song.
I like Pockets too.
It's kind of like Paul Davis meets Jerry Rafferty with like kind of a smoothed out kind of thing going on. I Might Be Ugly is the drunk pub guy in full force. I mean, it's like obnoxious. And then
yeah, but I got the opener.
Well, I got the opener.
Did you say Paul Davis meets Jerry Rafferty?
Yeah.
God.
You know, it's got the do-do-do-do-do of the Paul Davis, but it's got the beat of the Jerry Rafferty. I liked it. I said I liked it. I like Jerry Rafferty. The album's, don't get the U.S. city to city. It's mastered too fast. And the last song, I would just listen to Sade. You know, I wanted to hear that. I don't want to hear that guy's voice anymore. And then the album stops, and it's cool, because I won't hear that guy's voice anymore. But yeah, I would give it 3 rainbows. I really like the... It's like a great single followed by a completely different album. You know, it's like somebody put on an A and B side that's great. Like I said, I've clicked them to save, which I've never done yet for any of these songs. And then it seems like it's followed by a different album. It just goes in this direction of this guy and his whole, like, pub rock thing. So it's almost like
really... You skipped over a song called The Table. Is that because that's not on the album and it just happened to be in
No, I didn't really do all of them. Yeah, it's just kind of like, that was just kind of there. I mean, I think some of these, it's like, here's the point where I thought the guy's voice sounded like a...
Okay.
Yeah, The Table. I don't know.
Wow.
I really like those first 2 songs, though.
Why do I start sweating when Robert's giving his reviews?
I know.
It's not even my...
Because they're really long, elongated reviews.
I mean, I can accept 3 rainbows, but... So there are actually 3 vocalists. There's 2 different male vocalists.
Oh.
There's Paul Heaton and there's Dave Hemingway. Dave Hemingway has the softer voice. Paul is... So I May Be Ugly, that's total Paul, but he changes his vocals for almost everything that he does.
House Martins.
Yeah, and he is from the House Martins. Paul and Jackie actually are released... So, all right. First was Brianna Corrigan. She was the first female vocalist. She thought Paul's lyrics were a little off-colored, and she got tired of singing them. And she wanted to do a solo career. So after the 3rd record, she left the band. Then Jackie came in, who was 19 years old when she joined the Beautiful South. So about this time, she would have been about 22 years old with those amazing vocals. Then she started having babies and all of that. So she did 4 records with them. The 3rd female vocalist was Allison Wheeler. And she's known as The Voice. And apparently she was in some other UK pop group that I'm not that familiar with.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's got a great voice. Hers is very similar to Jackie's, but when you want to... So Brianna Corrigan, like, if you go back and listen to the first 3 records, she has more of a mousy, kind of a Minnie Mousy type of squeak to her voice, which is great. But Jackie is... it to me. She is everything. She is the reason. Like, I think Paul Heaton is freaking brilliant. He's an amazing writer, but Jackie is like what really got me kind of obsessed with this band.
Right. I put it on and that's what I heard. If the whole album would have been her, that would have been a great album.
And when
this dude comes in and
when she left,
why does everybody think I'm a helicopter, I'm a plane, or whatever? Come on, dude.
I was devastated when she left. And
Is this the last album she was on?
No, there's one more. The Color Red is the last. So her first album that she's on is Meow. The last one is The Color Red. So then Paul wrote this like Broadway thing, and he had all these people come in, and it's called it's like the Deadly Sins or something like that, and it's this weird like musical thing that he created. But he actually contacted her via Facebook and said, hey, do you want to come and sing one of the songs? It had been like 10 plus years. And so she's like, sure. She came in, she did this one song, and he's like, what do you think about recording again? And so then they got back together, and their 5th album is coming out next month. So Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott and I think 2011-ish is about the time when their first album came out. And I think I told you to listen to a song when I get back to Blighty, or I don't know if you did, but that's Paul and Jackie, and they're just, I'm so happy to have them both back in my life. If I can't have the Beautiful South, I am happy to just have them together, because they really are like the core of it to me. David Hemingway is a pretty good vocalist, but like 4 of the members of the House Martins are in the Beautiful South.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pretty much everybody but Fatboy Slim.
I need to Google more.
Yeah. So,
The House Martins, you see, now that's a band that I have never heard of.
yeah. So
really?
you've probably heard the song "Happy Hour."
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to sing it because but they only did 2 records. But yeah, I'm so obsessed with just anything Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott, but I struggled on which album to kind of, introduce you guys to them. Blue is the Color is another one that I was almost going more towards that one, but I love the storytelling in this album. Dumb, of course, is one of my favorite tracks of this album, so fuck you, Fithin.
There we go.
You are entitled to not enjoy it, but I do. I love it, and I love I don't know. I like that doo-woppiness to it.
I think he just lowered how many.
Then listen to some doo-wop.
I don't know. It just the closer, Your Father and I mean, to me, that is such a brilliant piece of work. You've got the mother of the child basically saying, like, it was a shit day, your father's a piece of crap, all of this crap happened, and then dad's like over here like, oh, everything was so beautiful when you were born and it was so wonderful, and she's like, no, he was drunk off his ass, he was trying to eat the umbilical cord. I mean, it's just like, I love what he does with words.
Well, rewind that.
Yeah, that
sounds brilliant.
Yeah, he tried.
It's like a Larry Cohen movie.
Yeah, there's just this band is just like, they saved my life when I needed it. I was late to it. I mean, 2000. So actually, Jackie's last album came out that year, and that's when I really I knew Old Red Eyes is back from 0898, which, yeah, Fifth. Do you know what the 0898 is?
No, I was going to wait till you were done and bring up something about this, but no.
Yeah, let's see if it's what I was going to say. Go ahead. I'm done.
No, I'm just about the album, not about that number.
Oh, but that number, so if you don't have the number, I always wondered what 0898 was. I was like, why did they call the album 0898? I just recently Googled it because I don't know why, after 20-something years, I finally decided to Google what the hell that title means. So, you know how we have had 900 numbers here? Well, that was the prefix for the 900 numbers over there. So instead of 1900, it was 0898.
I never called 900 numbers.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, dear Fithin.
Different story for a different time.
Well, seeing that that their records are so expensive, I'm very happy with these 3 CDs that this friend had burned for me. So
and again,
the first time I had ever heard.
So if you need more, let me know.
But yeah, I just cleared something up. We just always learning for like decades. I've had this for probably since it came. Yeah, since it came out, I went new. I thought this was their debut. I thought this was just the other cover of the one with the woman with the gun in her mouth. Remember me saying that? I'm like, oh, I have this version. That's a whole other album, idiot. And it's like, yeah, I had no idea this was a whole other. I just thought it was called The Beautiful South. I had no idea it was called that.
That's Brianna's final album.
It just looks like The Beautiful South, and then on the back or on the spine, it really looks like it just says The Beautiful South. So
yeah,
I thought this was just another.
Well, maybe the CDs are less expensive, but I already got the CDs, so why would I want to?
I'm saying I thought that was the debut cover, just with a different cover on it. I'd never seen that one with the stuffed animals.
Yeah, that's the. I guess
censored one,
censored one or whatever.
The cover for this one, though, that you had us listen to, that is a cool cover. I mean,
all of their artwork is just brilliant.
Yeah, I like all their
they're
artwork.
So, and I can't remember the name of the artist that did 0898, but go ahead with it.
The artist that did the one that we just reviewed sued them, so there's that.
Ah, okay, thank you. Something I
It
didn't
is.
know.
See, great to hang on a wall so that you got a story to tell when somebody
Well, I'm
says,
surprised
"Oh,
it
that
hasn't
one
been
up there."
deleted then. I'm surprised.
Well, he got money for it because they'd already made all the.
Okay.
This was all on the
Okay.
Wikipedia that I read between the
Okay.
two listens. They got money for it, so they're good. But so, what rainbow rating? I'm
Oh
five
yeah,
or-
me. I've got to give it at least 4.5.
There you go.
You know.
Robert?
Yeah.
I said
He
3.
already gave us 3.
Oh, you did give 3?
Yeah.
So that's
And that
15 and a
really
half.
is based on really a lot those first two songs.
first.
Actually, that's higher than your normal average.
It's 15 and a
Unless
half,
it's Bob
right?
Seger.
Okay, so 3, 4, that's 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 4 is 15, and then a half. So yeah, looks like
I really
Night
enjoyed
Moves
it.
is still in the lead.
It is. By a half. I guess I should have went 5 and then we could have tied.
Oh,
It's
geez.
not a 5-star album or 5 rainbow album. There
So
it
now
is.
it's time for the guy who said that Rock and Roll Never Forgets and Main Street were two of the worst songs of all time to give this album.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I didn't say Rock and Roll Never Forgets is one of the worst songs of all time, but Main
Oh,
Street
well,
it was Main
definitely
Street.
up there.
Yeah.
Can I cut that in?
You can cut it anywhere you want. That
Did he say that? I don't remember that.
Main Street, and you know what? That Main Street suffers from overexposure because when we were kids, like when that came out, that song was everywhere.
See,
Yeah.
it wasn't here. I mean, the rock station, the Bob Seger they never played Main Street. It was
Wasn't
always
there-
old time rock and roll and Night Moves.
But that's
and-
before.
Michigan,
Yeah.
they played it all over. All the time.
Wasn't there
Yeah,
even a car commercial? He did so many commercials too. He had no problem selling his music.
Against the Wind was used in
He
it.
only did.
And
he
Like
only,
a Rock.
he only did car commercials because he's from Detroit. That's his reasoning. It's his reasoning. His rationalization.
Yeah. I
He
would have
doesn't
done the
do
same
random
thing.
commercials.
I'm not judging him. I would have done the same thing, but okay. So it's my turn to pick.
Everybody needs a meal
album.
ticket.
Album review for next week, you guys. I'm forcing you to listen to this. It's one of my favorite. Well, I'm not going to tell. This is John Grant.
Oh, I have that record.
Oh, you have every record apparently.
Isn't that Led Zeppelin's manager?
You know what? I'm out of here. This is Pale Green Ghosts by John Grant. John Grant is a gay, HIV positive singer-songwriter, producer, born in Michigan, moved to Iceland, and I believe he's still a resident of Iceland. He's traveled all over the world. Very young, he went to Russia, and he was in a band called the Czars for, I think they did like 5 or 6 records. And then he went solo. This is his second solo release. And yeah, this I hope you guys like it. I really do.
Save it for when we do the
Yeah,
review.
I'm going to save it for next week. I adore this guy, and he's been in Chicago a couple of times. He's got about 5 solo records out now, and yeah. So, John Grant, Pale Green.
Well, this time I won't have to listen to
Yeah.
a digital online version
Too.
like what I have been doing. Now I've had the CD, for this, and
Oh,
I
good.
can listen to it.
He's pretty cool. I hope you guys like him. So do your
I know
homework.
who he is. And I think I know who he is because of your videos. But
Probably.
but
I feature
I
him
don't
a
know that
lot.
I've actually I'm excited because I think I've always wanted to kind of look into listening to him. So
He's fun. He's serious. He's quirky. He's sarcastic. He's bitchy.
oh,
But he's at the same time, he's got a gorgeous voice. Absolutely gorgeous voice. So, yeah. That's your homework.
yay.
What are we
You
doing?
can't hear my neighbor's music. can you?
Apparently
What are your neighbors playing?
What are they
A
listening
lot
to?
of bass.
Oh.
Neighbors tend to do that with a lot.
Is it Ace of Base? No.
No, it could be free bass. I don't know.
Yeah. Give me a
Bass head?
Wow.
Is there a bass head?
You do live in that side of town where that happens.
Oh, there was an armed robbery out here right on, it was like a month or so ago, but yeah, 2 armed robberies right outside down on the street, which is unusual. Most of them happened by the red line.
Yeah. We've been quiet up here. I shouldn't say that. We've been quiet since the sniper from a few years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, guy just walking around shooting people. Boom, right in the head. They'd
Good
walk up.
times.
Yeah.
Was he bored? What? I mean,
I don't know. They never caught him. So,
they never caught him?
never caught him. He killed 2 people. Actually, he killed a husband of one of my friends. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just
That's
random. Walked up, boom, gone. Never saw him again.
Wow.
That's the only time I've ever been scared in Chicago. Well, not scared, nervous. I mean, Chicago has a bad rep. People from out of town have no idea what Chicago really is.
Oh, yeah, it's like with the armed robbery.
It's not what you hear on Fox News or something.
No.
It's not even close.
The armed robbery I was talking about, I mentioned it because it is so unusual. I mean, there are Lakeview, the neighborhood I live in, according to the Chicago police reports, has the highest per capita rate of armed robberies, one of the highest in the city. But when you look at the map that shows where all these occur and when they occur, between 2 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're at the Addison Red Line stop or the Belmont Blue Line stop or Red Line.
And Lakeview has a per capita for bars is probably the highest in the city. Nightclubs.
Oh, yeah, it's Wrigleyville, man.
And then you got
people get rolled over all the time.
Yeah. Damn Cubs fans. We lost Robert. He went.
Yeah, where is Fithin?
I was trying to find a 180 gram vinyl record without a really slick inner sleeve.
Were you?
I read this weird fun fact that the weight of the average adult human penis was 180 grams. And I thought that was interesting.
So does it feel about right?
Is this reissue 180 grams?
Well, that would be up to you. You're the one feeling it.
So what were
Tell us.
This is a lightweight. This is lightweight.
Yeah, this is... Hold on. I can't tell anything like that.
I'm sure there's some ladies.
This one feels...
Definitely the stupidest thing that's ever happened.
What happens with...
We're just talking about murder, so I thought I'd... Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I believe it.
It's about the right... All right. Good. Thank you.
Although this is a whole different, obviously kind of a...
Well, it's a different shape.
It's a more concentrated... This is more flat and...
Right.
Yeah.
Probably like, a 180 gram or larger penis. There's a lot of hype about the 180 gram vinyl. I mean...
That's exactly what I was saying. Could that be a correlation... Right. And it really comes down to penis envy. Why everybody had to have these 180 gram when everybody knew that it really didn't make a difference. And they're still hyping 180 gram vinyl.
You get the 200 gram.
Now.
Yeah, the 200 gram records, which can actually mess up your tracking.
Right.
What the fuck? Shit, damn the hell.
Wow.
Took episode 5 to go off the rails.
200. What is that like? What is the actual...
A record so heavy it'll literally mess up your turntable. We're going to go ahead and buy it because it's got a bigger number on it, so it's bigger. Bigger number.
And when I go to buy records, I don't look at how many grams they are. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not buying cocaine.
I mean, there used to be the Dynaplex.
If you're buying cocaine or meth or whatever, your choice is that,
right?
Yeah, or penises, I guess. If you're buying penises.
Well, now I've never bought a penis.
A real one, perhaps.
No, because when radio, shockingly, I've had, you get like dildos and vibrators and all, especially if you're on a rock station that has porn stars, female porn stars that go to the strip club every Friday. They're on your morning show, so you're kind of linked with this strip club. Then they're always furnishing you with gifts. So I never had to buy anything like that, even if I wanted to.
Wow, I've never purchased it.
They're in that closet in the hallway by the break room.
Oh my God, yes! That's exactly where they were. There was literally, for like 2 years, because it was put up there and it was forgotten about, and then like somebody would get it from another, and they wouldn't know what it was. There was a penis enlarger, because we interviewed some guy that wrote a book about it or something, so he sent us the thing, and we were supposed to try it out and whatever. By the time we got it, it was
a penis pump.
Yeah, but this was 1990, like probably
old
7.
School, so it had
it had that, and it was like a big plastic white thing. It didn't look like that. I
now
think
now you plug them into your USB port. And, you're good to go.
Is that what you do?
No, that's what I've heard. Craig told me.
Okay. Yes.
Oh.
That's not my bag, baby.
I'm clueless.
And a book called Penis Pumps is my bag, baby.
I didn't know what a fleshlight was until like 2 years ago.
What a weird name. Fleshlight.
Yeah, I was because it looked like a flashlight, but
right.
I really didn't know what that was.
I have
it's more like a floodlight.
I have a straight male friend who loves to tell me about his fleshlight.
Oh.
He absolutely loves it. It's the greatest thing. He's been telling me about this for 6 years. He loves it. I'm like,
so his Amazon review is like really high though.
Oh yeah. 5 rainbows.
5
Definitely
rainbows.
5 rainbows.
Right.
He recommends it with a bullet.
He's always like, why do they market these to gay men? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have one. And he's like, well, I got one, and it's the best thing I've ever bought in my life on the internet. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, to each their own.
Well, they do have the different styles too.
He's one of my dear friends, and he might be watching this. Damn it!
Yeah, that's what you didn't tell us his name. Now I'm choking up about something.
I'm thinking we need a Patreon or something where we have different levels. Different versions.
No, apparently that's what
guesses about.
Now, so.
Right. No. Oh, Patreon in the vinyl community is back.
Apparently, it's back, and
Because I knew a few people were doing it a while ago, and one of the heavy metal guys made a video and kind of made fun of it.
Got shamed.
And then that kind of went away for a while because everybody's like, yeah.
I think it's back.
But it's back great.
Adam Neely has always been using it, so I don't know.
Who has?
Adam Neely.
I don't know.
Oh.
He
doing a great job.
He gets a lot of donations to it.
He's probably got 187 million subscribers too. And
he does music like music theory. He's a musician who explains music theory and rock music and popular music, and he's a bass player. And I watch him often because I can hear rhythmic things happening, in some records, but I don't know enough about music to I know something interesting is going on, so I want to know more. He's a good channel for providing that.
I'll check it out.
Here's a question. You don't have to give like specific names, but just yes or no if you want. But is there anyone in the vinyl community that you would pay for a Patreon subscription, like maybe $10 a month, to see kind of more videos? But not like OnlyFans, but like just more YouTube type.
Not too old to do an OnlyFans.
To see more videos?
Whatever they're doing. What are they doing on Patreon? I think it's like stupid, like behind the scenes. It's like, what is behind this?
Yeah, I've got this exclusive.
I don't know. With some of them,
I wouldn't.
If they're a better known musician, I think you can actually meet them and things like that. But most of it is, I don't know what you get out of it other than.
Well, I'm saying they give like the ones that the metal guy was talking about. They're doing backstage stuff, so I don't know what behind the scenes is, but also bonus videos, just like their normal videos, but they're videos that you can only have access to if you do their Patreon. Content. And then like some of them, they'll send you, they'll do a shout out to you, like that's
they'll say your name.
Yeah, ooh,
yeah, ooh. I've seen people be like, "Thank you, Patreon," blah 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 blah, and I'm like,
"Oh, really?"
Yeah, I've seen people say that before, and I didn't even know what a Patreon was until like 6 months ago.
So my question then, if that's the case, and you're getting behind-the-scenes clips of somebody like dropping a record or mispronouncing a name, or I don't know what the behind-the-scenes is, but you're getting that, you're getting some bonus videos similar to the stuff that you're already seeing, and then you're getting like, a couple of other whatever. Is there anybody in the vinyl community that you would join a Patreon for like $10 a month?
You can watch my channel, and I drop records and mispronounce names in every single video.
Yeah, me too.
And
And
it's
we
free.
don't have to
And
pay
it's
for it.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
don't
know
have
what
to
the
pay for
behind the
it.
scenes would be.
Yeah, I don't know. Even our
Well, I
behind
think
the
that
scenes
what I
isn't
meant by
worth
behind the
paying for.
scenes, I think what some of them do is they will create, an informative video that goes in a lot more depth that only, we experiment with that in news media, in terms of, you can get certain access to the short articles and, just like the front page news. But then, a subscriber will get longer and more in-depth stories and access to more information. So I think that's what some of them do on Patreon, is that they're offering other content that is not published for anybody to find on YouTube.
Right.
It's a fucking record.
So my question remains: anybody? Is there
Yeah,
anyone?
I don't really.
No.
I don't think that.
I don't really think there is for me either.
Yeah.
No.
Because I think
I
someone
mean-
like Adam Neely, he also provides instruction. So I think some of the things he'll do for Patreons is he'll create an instructional video just for somebody.
Well, he sounds like somebody that's beyond, the scope of the vinyl community. He's like a, if he's a musician and he's giving
This is
instructions
somebody
and things like
probably
that.
his entire income is coming from his YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
that's beyond just.
I mean, there's some people I wish made more videos, but I wouldn't pay for them to make more
I
videos.
mean, even the guy
Right.
which reminds me, did you see the new video that was posted that was talking about the guy in Phoenix?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which new?
I will
Because
watch it
everybody
after
in the
we're
vinyl
done
community is
taping. I
milking
haven't
this.
watched it yet, but I have to see this and see what the reaction is because of that big New York Times or the Washington Post article.
Washington Post.
The record store dealer that broke the story on MoFi.
Oh, people are pissed.
Woo!
Let me tell you, I've already watched 2.
There's some dancing going on.
Oh, boy, I thought we were done with this.
Stupid.
I hope
Everyone
we
thought
were. We're
done
not
with it,
now.
but-
I know there's been an article. So who's dancing? Why are people upset?
Well, I don't know if
People
they're
were-
upset or whatever, but I know that
Yeah.
somebody
Some people
posted
were misrepresented in the
a
article.
very well-known person in the VC who just recently came back after a perhaps lengthy absence. It sounded like the way the video was being promoted is that he had some hubris he wanted to get rid of.
And he's responded. Michael Fremer has responded to the article, and he's pissed
Yeah,
off.
that's
about
who
it.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's very
Oh,
pissed
thank
off
you.
about it.
I was
He
getting
said
ready
he
to get
said
out a
he's
Dakota
He's
ring.
very upset. Yeah, no.
Well, I just don't feel like we should be, we should get in the habit of picking on or saying anything about anybody else's channel.
Yeah, I'm not going to tear down.
Yeah.
You brought it up!
channel and then, well, did I?
No, I
Yeah, I
Richard
did.
brought it up.
Oh, you did. Now, Michael Fremer's pissed off about it. Michael Fremer's not in the vinyl community. Michael Fremer went after me in comments on one of my videos in the last week. So
No, he's beyond the scope of things.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, he's not part of the vinyl community, but he did go after me this week in some comments. He called me a not cool guy, and whatever.
I
really
think you're cool.
Yeah, me too.
You're a hep cat. I mean,
No.
you are
And that's
coolio,
fine. I like Michael
daddy-o.
Fremer.
I thought you were the cool one, right?
Oh my god! Wait, me or Craig?
You're
You're
like
a
the cool
cat.
one. I'm the asshole.
No.
Richard's
No,
the serious
not
one.
according
Craig's
to
the
Michael
sweet
Fremer.
one, right?
Or the drunk.
Oh, we're
Well,
like the
sweet and
monkeys.
drunk.
We each have our own role.
I mean, yeah.
Sweet and drunk, that would be luscious.
You
The
did
lo-fi thing is so
delicious.
overdone. So overdone.
Well, it just exploded because now it's mainstream. Now, it's Washington Post.
Well,
You know
now it's
got-
mainstream.
Yeah.
And Michael Fremer goes on. He makes a video today saying that this is my last video. I'm not talking about this anymore. But yet he's going on Rachel's show this week to talk about it again. So everyone
I'm sure
needs
everybody will be
subscribers.
clicking, and isn't that what it's really all about? I mean, I've seen so many people of all reaches of what would be called the vinyl community. People, they've got to give their opinion, and it's the same damn opinion. Everybody's saying basically there should be truth in advertising. But, it's
there
like
should.
everybody's got to make a video now. It's like,
If you
we're
think
kind
about
of...
it, though, is there really truth in advertising? There's not. There's always
No,
something missing. There's always, regardless of what it is,
He's
whether
trying to
it's
sell you
this
something that
album
you didn't need.
Yeah, but there's got to be a little bit of ambiguity. You can't just lie.
No,
say that
I mean,
something's not there if it's there. You can't just be in the ingredients.
And that's the issue. That's
Yeah.
exactly the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, then, is it time for our segment called "What Record Would You Pull"?
I'm excited.
Me too. This is the one that I
gonna
came
move
up with
the
the scenario
furniture out
this
of the
time.
way.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
can,
get ready.
Mine's
Give it
going
quick.
to be 180 grams.
Yes, please.
Mine
Or
shall be
200.
200.
Let's wreck the record player.
I mean,
wreck it.
So your eccentric aunt or your eccentric sister or your eccentric neighbor is determined to bring fanny packs back. And she has got all the material and the zippers, and she's got the room ready to, like, make it happen. She's got the elastic. It's all ready to go. She is going to spend the next few days, the next few weeks, making fanny packs to promote, and would like some music to hear while she does this. What music would you, what album or 45 or whatever would you pull for this eccentric woman to make her fanny packs with?
all right, I got the first thing that came to mind. I got one.
It's if we had, we probably will repeat. We'll probably all four have the same one.
No,
Really?
my fanny pack, my
I
fanny.
doubt that because
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know what you were thinking of.
Oh, I had. Oh,
It could
wait.
be a CD. It could be a
Hold on.
45. It could be a
Okay.
cassette.
I can't.
Probably not going to be an 8-track if it's a fanny pack thing. We never did
Well,
put
this
like a
is
time
just
limit on
music
this
to
or
make
anything.
fanny packs by.
We probably should have had a timer or music playing or something.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not going to stand up because I'm only wearing boxers, by the way.
Oh yeah, but I guess you wouldn't have known what record to get. I was going to say you should have had. Yeah, but yeah, that wouldn't have.
Yeah, you didn't tell us.
on the
so-
fly,
And I
so to
grabbed some
speak.
ice while I grabbed my
It gives
record.
on the fly a whole new meaning. Okay, so the eccentric
I
woman.
got one right here. I'm
All right,
good.
she's making her fanny pack. She needs some inspiration.
She needs to be put down, is what
She looks
Yeah.
like she's going
I
to be
mean,
making
I
a whole
feel
lot of
like-
fanny packs with that.
You're
I
gonna
feel like
assault her
she
with
should be
that
bringing the
box.
fanny pack back.
I could.
Okay, since Craig went last for the album review, Craig goes first. For what album would you pull for this eccentric woman?
Richard Simmons read. I mean, you got some fucking wake up and breathe. Now, have
Are
you
you
all
implying
ever
she's a
looked?
large woman?
Have you
Oh my
ever
God, you
looked
own that.
at this
Wow.
cover? Check this chick right here. Look at her. She's like, and this dude down here, he's like, look at, oh, I'm so excited for Richard Simmons. And this chick back here, I mean, this cover is why I have it, not to mention the song Wake Up and Breathe.
I
Inhale,
want to get his
exhale.
copy right now. Oh my God. I see that. I don't go to charity shops very often, but every time I'm in one, that record.
Oh, yeah, it's always there. And
That and the.
It's-
That is
Jane-
it's so
that and the
glossy,
Jane
man.
Fonda.
this thing is freaking mint. Now, also,
You can frame it.
Look,
Jesus, hang that
Richard
on the
Simmons
wall.
is on Elektra.
Nice.
He was big time.
That album.
His
on
videos
Electra.
were on Warner.
The Cure is on Elektra.
I bet that
The
album.
Doors were on Elektra.
That went fun.
There was too
I bet
for a
that
minute.
went-
Pop was on Elektra. They signed everybody.
And Richard Simmons. Okay,
Yes.
moving forward.
Eddie Rabbit. What?
You're welcome. Oh, he loves a rainy night.
Yes, he was on Elektra. Okay, who's next?
Okay.
Mike's next.
Give it, Mike.
Only because it was right behind me, and my favorite concert that I've been to. I go to concerts all the time, but this is the best concert I ever went to, and this is a 4 album set. David Bowie, 9 Inch Nails. 9 Inch Nails backed up
That's
David
what-
Bowie, and it absolutely spectacular evening. It's a long record, so she could make at least 6 fanny packs off of this.
She'd be having a good
And-
time.
Oh my God, the
Especially
first
if
two.
she's afraid of Americans.
Right. The first 2 records are all David Bowie. The second are all 9 Inch Nails. And this is St. Louis, down by your area there.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that
absolutely.
existed.
We drove.
So is there
we drove
anything
down
of them
from
singing
Chicago.
together?
Huh?
Is there anything on that of them singing together?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
This was the album that the tour that he released outside, which is all backed by 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, okay.
A fantastic
And
album. That's
Downward
the one that has
Spiral
that has Hello Space Boy on it with the Pet Shop Boys, and it's just a great. I mean, oh my god, she would make so many fanny packs.
I saw that concert.
What? Did you?
I went to the David Bowie and Nine Inch Nails concert in Phoenix.
Oh no!
Wow.
Yeah.
David Bowie came out.
I'm
They did.
envious. I've never seen David Bowie.
They sang "Hurt" together. Yeah, well, you guys, I'm gonna get so much. Yeah, you guys are gonna give me some shit here in just a moment. So, so we watched Nine Inch Nails. Then Bowie came out, and they did a couple songs together. And then I think Nine Inch Nails did a couple more songs, and then Bowie came out, and I made my friend leave because I hated Bowie at that time. I have a different appreciation for him now, but again, this was in like '96, and
90,
I just really didn't.
95.
What he was doing around then, I didn't care much.
I was there for Nine Inch Nails. I was
that's
all about them, and I hated David's voice on "Hurt." Like they sang that song together, and I was just like, "Yeah, no, I left it. Yes, you give me shit. I left a David Bowie concert, and yeah, Shane is still mad at me for that. So,
damn it, Shane.
Yeah, that's a good reason to be mad.
Shane's watching right now too.
Yeah, that's a good reason to be mad.
And he's mad.
He's angry. He's sending me like knives or something.
Well, don't look back in anger.
Mm-hmm. All right, go on.
Strong
Moving
friendship
forward.
to survive that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, 30-something years.
Yeah.
We'll see in the comments below.
Yeah,
Richard.
Well, the whole scenario of her going into the room, to make these fanny packs, and it wasn't so much the music that I selected this, but it was the cover. It just made me think of, oh God, I gotta go make all these fanny packs. But actually, this is a good record for it too.
I love Placebo.
So she can be a Nancy boy in there making her fanny packs. So that's what it made me think of.
There's the fanny pack making music right there. Milli Vanilli. Girl, you know it's true, including the hits. Don't forget that, My Number, and yes. Now see, here's an Blame It on the Rain.
How did you grab that so fast?
Because the M's are right by me. I've got most of the M's are behind my butt, but yeah, these are right here. Yeah,
that is an historical record because it was the first. How was it put? It's the first album to go out of print. The vinyl to go out of print while it was at #1.
Really?
Because when Arista decided to stop pressing vinyl for the most part for general releases, that album was at #1, and they stopped vinyl production of it. So it's the first album, probably the only album, to have to go out of print, basically vinyl, when it was #1.
That's interesting.
Fun fact.
That's a very fun fact.
And then they were all in the dollar bin about a year and a half later.
Yeah, I don't know about the albums. We had the album in gym class when we learned senior dance.
That's creepy.
That was one of the things we had was the Milli Vanilli actual record LP.
Wow.
Good times. And that was brand new. Yeah, it was hip.
It's a good one.
Hip teacher. That brand new pop music like that.
Ooh, I have a package at my door.
Yeah,
so who
good
does
times.
the scenario next?
Who goes after me on the album thing? You do.
Is that me?
Richard does. No, Richard does.
No, I go after.
No. It's not me.
No, on the album, I go after Fifth M.
Oh, then you're doing the next. Then you do the next scenario. Yeah.
Okay.
We always go in the same order, no matter what we're doing. We're just on the opposite. Anyway.
Okay.
Good times.
Got you.
Anything left, gentlemen?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Okay, so my mother passed away this week. There's that. And so, I haven't been kind of incognito. I haven't really been doing anything. I've been attending to her funeral, and I did the eulogy and did the video and all that kind of stuff. I got kind of a large family, so I'm the de facto eulogy guy at this point.
And you have a
That's
radio
one of my
voice.
hidden talents. Yeah, you guys You know, it's I don't know what to say. Anyway, we're going to talk about loss from music. Yeah, what? It's tough. It's a rough time. I'm a cliched gay guy when it comes to his mother. So she was really my hero, for real.
Oh.
It wasn't like flowery words. So.
Yeah.
She got a degree when she was 58 years old. Because her job made her anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. So drove the short bus.
Good for her.
If the Americans know what that means. That's why I don't make short bus jokes. Anyway, yeah. So
well, all four of us.
When you're dealing with loss, what music helps you get through is what we were going to talk about. Springboard from that organically, like we did, as organically as we jumped into the conversation.
Yeah.
But all four of us have lost our mothers, correct?
I don't know.
No,
yours? No, both my parents are still alive. Yeah, my grandmother I lost to Alzheimer's, dementia.
Yeah, that's what happened with my mom too. It was 2.5 year thing.
And 2 years isn't. I mean, because my grandmother was easily 5 or 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's my mother, and she won't mind me talking about this. My mother and her mother were. My mother's an only child. My grandfather was a rat bastard. He left early in their marriage, and it was just the two of them. It was the two of them for forever. And my grandmother was the sweetest woman you've ever met. She was a grandmother. You know, the definition of a grandmother was my grandmother. And when, you know, she was 92, right now around 90, 91. And, you know, she was doing great on her own. And she, you know, one day slipped and fell. And it was downhill really fast. But my mother never ever wanted to put her in a hospice or a home or anything. She's like, this is my mother. She's staying with me. She's living in our house. I'm going to change her diaper. I'm going to feed her. And she did. She did for 5 years.
That's what my sister did too. I have a middle sister that did that. I was there a lot too, but she was the one where she lived with her and, you know, day in, day out,
so
24/7, you know.
Yeah, it's so hard. And I don't even know how my mother got through it. I don't know how my parents' marriage got through it, to be honest. I mean, I know there were days where my father was just like, I'm out here. And he would just go to the grocery store for 5 hours. He'd always come back. But
yeah, my sister wasn't. My sister
it
lived
took
alone,
a strain on the whole family. And it got to a point after about 3-4 years where we were all kind of like, Mom, it's time to make the smart decision. Because Grandma she wasn't getting any better. And it was very, very difficult. And I don't even know if there is music that can get through something like that. I think that's something that just family and just the love of your family gets you through. Yeah. I can't even think of Yeah. And my mom.
I was going to say something like that, but I wanted to give somebody else a chance to go. Well, the music. That
I actually found a song that really worked for my situation. So when my mother died, we knew, you know, it was going to happen because her dementia got so bad that in the days before she died, she was uncommunicative, and she also had reached a point where, well, she wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I mean
that's the same thing happened. Yeah,
she was gone. You know, right? There was this body that was moving, that was breathing, that was functioning, but my mother was gone. And I can remember her sitting in a chair out in this patio, and she's messing around with the arms on the chair, trying to make sure she's different from the chair, that she actually exists. But she doesn't know that that was where she was at. And so communicating with her was long gone. Although off in the distance, I heard this cardinal chirping, and she heard it too. And I called her attention to it to listen to it. So there was, you know, her body could still react, but I was prepared for it largely because I think of my Buddhist practice. So when she died, I felt tremendous relief. And we were all there, gathered around her in the hospital. And so that made me think of the Grateful Dead and the song Black Peter, which is my all-time favorite song, you know, because it opens up, you know, all of my friends came to see me last night as I was laying in bed dying. And I want this song played at my funeral. You know, this is the kind of thing. And I didn't make it there before my mom died because I was on the other side of the state. But I got there, and we were all there in the hospital room, you know, and it was, you know, it was that kind of moment. I felt relief when she died because, it's like I said earlier, as far as I was concerned, she was gone. It was just this body that was continuing. And my Buddhism helped me with that. So
yeah, that's how my mom was too, is if she was...
people always ask me what my favorite Grateful Dead record is, and I always say Working Man's Dead. And they're like, what? Not American Beauty? It's the best album. Blah, blah, blah. It's like,
oh, no.
Working Man's Dead is... It has Black Peter on it. And
don't you love that when people ask you what your favorite something is,
and then they tell you
how you're wrong?
Yeah, you're
right,
totally wrong.
Exactly.
No, it's my
good times.
I think with like Alzheimer's or dementia, I think the hardest part about it is that you mourn them twice. You mourn them while they're still alive because they no longer know who you are and they are no longer the person that you know.
Yeah.
And then you mourn them when they're physically gone. And a lot like you feel that my mom was my hero. My mom was perfection. And I'm sorry, I get really emotional when I talk about her. And it's been 11 years since my mom passed, and it still feels like it was 5 minutes ago. And I've had a lot of loss. You know, my dad died a couple years as well, so both of my parents are gone. But I have this like whole like fantasy that there is like this world after this life, and I feel like my parents are together and reunited, and everything's beautiful. And whether that's true or not, it's the way I think, and so that's how I kind of get through things. But music really, I don't know. I associate music so much with like my relationships and with like people in general. I will put, you know, like I'll put on a Statler Brothers album and my mom is in the room with me. I'll put on Jim Reeves and my parents are sitting with me. My best friend died, that I met when I was 5, died 5 months after my mom did. The last time I saw her was at my mother's funeral. So the Carpenters, like if I need to feel her, if I need to feel like she's in the room with me, I put on the Carpenters. So I associate so much with these people that I've lost in my life. And because it's stuff that was important to them. You know, am I going to listen to the Carpenters on a daily basis? No, but that was Heather's favorite. Yeah, my mom's Statler Brothers were like the most, like there was nothing better than the Statler Brothers to my mom. So I associate that with her. So that's kind of what gets me kind of through it. And I mean, it's inevitable. We're all going to freaking die. And I think the most important thing is that these people were brought into our lives for a reason. And we just kind of hold on to those memories and just feel ultimately blessed for being able to be privileged enough to have these people in our lives. So that's just kind of, I don't know.
And I think what you just described isn't getting through it through music. I think it's celebrating them through music, which is, you know, yeah, that's awesome.
The way I was kind of, you know, that I was brought up, you know, with the whole is that we celebrate their lives. We're not necessarily, we're not mourning the loss of them. We're celebrating who they were and that, you know, that we were privileged enough to know these people. And I do feel completely honored that I knew my mom. I knew, you know, like, I mean, I've lost people to suicide. I've lost, you know, it's just, I feel honored that I had the privilege to know these people. Like, how incredibly lucky am I?
Yeah, when you hear the you know, vocalist, especially somebody like Karen Carpenter, it's almost like hearing the person's voice again, because you associate her voice with, then they become almost like hearing the friend, you know, when you hear the music or whatever. My mom liked novelty songs, and so it doesn't work.
Oh, shit. Did she like the Curly Shuffle?
No, she liked, I'm going to hire a wino
right
to decorate our home. And so I even said in her eulogy that I can't exactly do her favorite songs in the memorial. It's like some Roy Clark song called Thank God and Greyhound You're Gone and stuff like that. And my mother was older, first of all. My mother, when I was born, my mother was 41. And
wow.
I got to see her become a grandma. And she was kind of like more of a grandmother to those kids. I got to see that, the way she really stepped into that role. But to me, she was definitely my mother. But yeah, the only music that the way that I use music to get through this week, especially trying to make her the memorial video thing, you know, I didn't want to do any of that beforehand, even though it's like everybody's saying you can see them, and then there's those last few days when they're just completely gone. I mean, my mother was gone, just laying in the bed, gone. Again, thankfully, it was a bed in her home. My sister, you know, not a bed in a hospital or something. Anyway, so, you know, I just completely lost my train of thought. My mother's in the bed, and I don't know what I was saying.
You don't need to.
Good times. Making the video. And I didn't want to do any of that stuff beforehand. I wanted to wait until it was, and then I didn't want to be cynical and start doing the New York Times thing where you've already, Britney Spears is acting weird, so let's assemble the memorial, have it ready to go. Or did you guys not know they did that? Yeah, they do that. They've got memorials ready to go for anybody that's got a drug problem, anybody that Richard knows.
Yeah.
Joni Mitchell was dead 7 years ago.
Yeah. They just have to tag the end with updates, basically. But anyway, I didn't want to do that, and so I don't know if Richard, but me, it's like the business I've been in for like so long is so cynical that when I deal with somebody like my mom, I don't want to do any kind of cynical bullshit. I don't want to do like pre-plan the thing. I can't do that. Anyway, so I waited to do it. I am rambling. I waited to do it, and trying to do all that, you know, looking at pictures and zooming in and out and putting music and whatever. I listened to the Pointer Sisters. I'm so excited. And I listened to whatever else it played. The Human League, Don't You Want Me? And I think I'm in Love from Eddie Money came on. That's the only way I would have been able to get through that, is by listening to music that had absolutely nothing to do with my mother, sentiment, seriousness, anything like that. And it was going, and I'm just looking at pictures. I don't have like breakdown. I don't break down and cry a lot. I haven't broke down and cried this week since 2010, and then like this week, so I don't cry a lot. But I've been like, it's been really a weird week to experience this complete emotional, like, whatever. But yeah, that's how music would have helped me through it, is the exact opposite. I would not, there's no way I could have sat and listened to some sort of piano ballad or some sort of morose song, or, I mean, the songs I was putting on the memorial, I had to listen to them sped up when I reviewed the thing to make sure there was no mistakes, and backwards and stuff like that. I didn't even hear them until it was actually, you know, normal, until the actual, you know, funeral, when it played, you know, 10 times. But anyway, so what were we talking about? That's how I dealt with music.
Death.
Yeah, it's hard, Robert. I can't even imagine.
It's all a very personal experience, and you know, everyone is going to be, you know, how people respond to any situation is always going to be individual. Kind of reminds me of actually a criminal case in which this defense attorney was trying to support his client who was accused of, or excuse me, it was a prosecutor, was a victim, you know, of a violent crime, and she spoke very clear about everything. I mean, you could tell it was difficult for her to talk about. But the prosecutor, told the jury, everybody responds to trauma differently. Everybody responds to grief differently. So, don't think that the way somebody, responds or reacts to a traumatic event is the right or wrong way to do it. Because it's, everybody's going to be doing it differently.
You never know until you're in that moment. I've been very, very blessed. Both my parents are 85 and 86. Very healthy, very active, very annoying. And I am so grateful they're still there. All these years later, I saw them this morning, and oh my God, I'm the babysitter now. I have to stop doing that. But it's moments I'm never ever going to forget. And my mother does not regret a single minute of those 5 years. She still says she would do it all over again. And my grandmother died at home in my mom's house, and that's the way she wanted it, and it was beautiful, and it was. Yep.
And I did mention in the eulogy that my mother, among many other attributes, was accepting, and had no problem going to the gay hamburger place with my husband, and having a gay hamburger and eating gay fries.
Wait, there's a gay hamburger place?
Hamburger Mary's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
That's very chain, the Walmart
Which the one here in Chicago closed.
Yeah, they just closed.
Here too,
because the service sucked and the food wasn't very good. I mean, if your place is called Hamburger Mary's, your hamburgers better be spectacular.
Yeah, they were they were not good.
It was all about the
novelty
shows.
Thing was the stiletto that they would put the check in when they brought it to the
exactly.
Yeah, my mom really liked that. That was her favorite part. She had never seen anything like that before,
Fabulous.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, anybody got anything else?
No, our thoughts have been with you all week, Robert. And,
Absolutely.
Just know there's Guncles thinking about you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been
it's not
very,
easy. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm finally getting to the point where I can, function and not have that 70. I mean, it's time to honor my mother by being.
Oh, it'll always come back.
I'm going to try to be like a tenth of the person she was. It's a lofty goal, but it's time to get on with that and not crying and being.
Oh, there'll still be moments
like things like this that's helped me until the end part. That's helped me kept my mind off of it, and I appreciate that. So
I'm sure she's very proud.
And Patrick, the final archivist from last night too. So.
Oh shit! Did you get drunk again?
Yes. The first time, obviously since
I'm almost there.
So that really kind of hit the reset button.
My glass is empty.
Oh well, then it's time. Thanks everybody again for joining us. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. Once again, I'm Robert Fithen, along with.
Did you know that next Sunday is Guncles Day?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We never did mention we're going live. We should have been mentioning that over and over.
Yeah.
Are we going
live?
Put live next week graphics that just pop up.
Live.
I didn't even know there was a Guncles Day.
No, I had no idea.
There isn't.
And now we know.
No, there is. There's a Gay Uncles Day, and it's the second Sunday in August.
Because somebody at I don't know, socialsomething.com said there was.
Oh yeah, I'm so upset.
Well, come on, we got to have something somehow.
That's how you know you're listening to a bad morning show. By the way, if there's ever a man and a woman on there talking about today's National La 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 Day, it's like wow, okay, it's time to change the station because it's not going to get any better.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining. Like we said, we will be live next week. We're not. Is it the same time? Are we all free?
We can't do Saturday, so
can't do Saturday.
Will not be
Sunday.
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 Maybe Sunday.
Sunday. Look for the time. We will all be promoting it on our, platforms.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have it on my Instagram. Richard will have it on his OnlyFans. Craig will have it on his Just for
Sunday
Fit fans.
Central Time. 5 o'clock Sunday Central
Of my
Time.
what fans?
Clips for Fans.
I don't know what that is.
And Mike will have it on Model Hub. So we'll all have our social platforms.
Sweet.
We'll have that information in the download.
Fabulous.
Yeah, in the download.
All right, thanks again for watching. Please consider subscribing and liking the video. And once again, we are the Vinyl Community Guncles. Thanks so much.
Bye.